Hey there and welcome. My name is Carlos Beritz and let's start talking about what has been going on in the indie tabletop RPG scene. And as always, links will be in the description. And I am not being sponsored in any way by anyone mentioned here unless specifically mentioned otherwise. And a content warning for COVID-19 and death for the first subject that we have here, so you can jump to the next session if it's more comfortable to you. I will wait some seconds before going on so that you have some time. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So hopefully anyone that did not want to face this subject could go to the next one. So first is the heaviest subject so far in this show. The Brazilian bundle that was put together on each named Help Tiago Rolim against COVID-19 that even got to the front page of the featured section came to an abrupt end. And it happened due to some smaller reasons related to text, but the main one was the passing of the loved one, Tiago Rolim, the creator of Numa. What was gathered so far will be put to the aid of his family, since the bills are still there, and to some other charitable acts fighting COVID-19 in Brazil. May his family find support and comfortable, as I am sure that he found a better place. And continuing in Latam RPG vibe, I wanted to bring to your attention some content. And we start with 2 podcasts or shows by members of the RPG Latam community. And just as a warning, they are both in Spanish, but you should nevertheless check them out. Even more that closed captions are a thing, and you most certainly give profit for companies using AI, so why not profit from them and their translations in a way? One of them has been going on for some time right now, which is called Exito Parcial. It is presented by InThe and Duam, and it's a show talking about RPGs in general. They discuss or review games with a Latin American view, which is great to challenge the well-established status quo of the views that we mostly see. Second one also features Duam, but it's now with Francita, and it's called Visual Crit. Why? Because it focuses on the visual part of tabletop games. They try to give some well-thought reviews on visual, like art and layout, for some games, and I really enjoy their first episode, and I deeply encourage you to check them out because they are just starting with this series and it already provided some great content. It is a show that's starting out, so you can easily get from the beginning. And talking about shows and indie, which are my jams in a way, there is an episode from Yes Indie podcast that is interviewing Bianca Momatoes. You know, the one that was around here, we had an interview before and is responsible for Across RPGC. Yeah, but in this one, it seems that the focus is even more on Arc RPG, which looks more than amazing. It's the newest project from Bianca, and check the podcast and the page for the game itself. Since we got into RPGC, I will mention that Orbital Blues by So Muppet is crowdfunding on Kickstarter right now. And yeah, So Muppet is not RPGC, is not from Southeast Asia, but the latest stretch goal is for featuring an adventure by an RPGC creator, Diwata, one of the authors from Our Shores. And so many other projects, like Diwata produced a lot of stuff, but the game itself, Our Show, it's a sci-fi and sci-fi with Y, okay? It's heavily inspired by Cowboy Bebop, at least in my biased view, and the adventure itself brings some very interesting questions on how to deal with exterior influences. So I really think that this is a team that should be checked more. And I can do nothing less than admire people that bring marginalized creators into the creative spot, like this one. And So Muppet, as far as I know, is trying to bring the good change and influence into the industry. So I tip my hat to you. And we reach Equa Jam, which is also bringing change into the industry because it proposes creating games and gaming content on an equation format, which I know that can scare a lot of creative people, but it can actually provide incentive for some people to try their hand on creating content, and it is always positive in my view to try to have more people taking their chance on making games and content. Jams, yeah, they are my jam, I love them, and from Bet's idea, we have the Jam without numbers, which I feel like it is the complement of the tech jam mentioned in the latest episode here. And it focuses on creating lore without mechanics for games. So open ideas that people can harvest to create games or content for games based on these ideas. Enticing, right? And combining with tech jam, you have almost an instant game, perhaps. Like you have some lore from Jam without numbers, and you have some mechanics from tech jam. Just mash them together and you have a game. Since we touched on jams, let's talk about the one called Me, My Friend, and My RPG Game Jam, which is a jam focusing on creating content and games for one player plus a friend experiences. So something that people could experience with only one other player, like they are optimum for just 2 players, which sounds interesting for more intimate experience and these times that we cannot get together in big groups. And for this episode, I believe that's it. If you like the video, like the damn video, share, subscribe. You know how internet works. You know that I have my itch.io and my Ko-fi links in the description. You can check them out. Let me know in the comments if you are enjoying the content that I am providing, what you wanted to see more, what you are not enjoying from it as well. I am open to criticism as well. And I'll see you all in my next video. So, see ya!